This is Jess, Wes, and our daughter Izzy. After selling our house and most of our possessions at the end of 2021, we've packed up our van Bevan to tour Australia. We are Life is VANderful.
Should we speak to the camera? And we're going to tell everybody that we're in a place called Lochiel, and we've come to Lake Bumbunga, and there's a giant snake there, isn't there? A giant serpent or snake in this pink lake. And today is day one of our trip heading up north.
Not real.
It's not a real snake, no, not a real snake. And today's day one, isn't it, of driving up north? Tiny snake. Oh, it's pretty big. It's pretty big. Pretty big. And we went to the Wiggles concert last night, didn't we, Izzy?
I got a toy.
You got a Dorothy toy. You got Dorothy the dinosaur toy. So you had a great day yesterday, and now today is officially day one. You were cuddling your toy. Today's officially day one of heading north, up the centre of Australia. So we're taking about 3 days sort of to leave Adelaide and head towards Coober Pedy, and then we're going to continue up to Ayers Rock, or Uluru I should say, and Red Centre, and keep going up towards Darwin. So yeah, this is day one. This section of the lake is so soft, and then it changes texture to a hard surface in a bit, but yeah, it's really soft, like walking through snow at the moment.
So I'm going to make sure that Wes keeps us in the video. He just tasted the salt and said, it's salty.
No, Jess is being ridiculous. I wanted to taste and just see how salty and acidic it was. It was extremely salty. It was quite a strong taste.
Heard it here first. Salt is salty. So today we're continuing our big journey from Adelaide to Darwin. So this is one of the parts of the trips that I've most been looking forward to, one of the most different parts of Australia. And we just spent the night in Port Pirie at a very simple little campground, and then we've come this morning to Port Augusta. So we've climbed this big water tower behind me. And now we're just about to head to some bush botanical gardens, and then we'll continue our trip further north. You want to walk?
We've just stopped off at the Australian Arid Botanical Gardens, I think it's called. Doing a quick walk around here, and then we're going to go look out, see what what's like, part of the park.
The Red Cliff Lookout.
Red Cliff Lookout, that's the one. And then we're driving up to Woomera tonight, about another 2 hours from Port Augusta. So yeah, just a quick stop off, then we'll get back on the road. everyone, we've made it to Coober Pedy. So we got here today around lunchtime, and we've come up from a small tiny town called Glendambo where we stayed the night in just beside the road, and we've come up. It's taken us 3 days to drive here, very slow, small drives.
Just to make it easy for Isabel?
Make it easy for Isabel, so not too long in the car for her. So there's been a lot of scenery of nothing on the side of the road, but finally we're here and we're going to spend four nights here and check out all the attractions.
The nothing was still cool though. I thought the drive was really nice, and it was always changing even though it was just desert. And I'm really excited to be in Coober Pedy. I've never been before. Wes hasn't been in 30 years, but it's one of the things on my bucket list, and I'm really excited to see all the underground hotels and everything. And of course go check out Opal's.
Always jewellery with this one.
And what are you doing?
And Isabel's having an ice cream.
Because it's hot again. Yay!
Blue skies. Perfect.
Good morning from Coober Pedy.
Good morning, we're here. It's our first full day here in Coober Pedy. So we've dropped Bevan off to go get fixed this morning. Nothing major, but we've got 2 really big stone chips on the way up from Glendambo to Coober Pedy yesterday, so we thought we'd get it fixed straight away before the cracks propagate and get a lot worse. So we've done that. So we just walked into town. Beautiful day.
Like summer again, which is nice.
Like summer. I'm wearing a jumper. It's a little windy, but it's blue skies.
There's balloons over there.
There's balloons.
Wow, pretty
Izzy's
colours.
got her cool sunnies on.
We're going to go look at the balloons, okay?
Yeah, okay. And we've just stopped at this this spaceship that's here, and I think this sort of sums up a lot of Coober Pedy. There's just, I won't say junk, but there's just stuff everywhere. There's old cars. There's all weird and wacky, wonderful things. And this is from a movie, a prop from a movie, a sci-fi movie. I'll work out what it is and I'll put it here what movie it is. But this is just in a random car park, and I think that says everything about Coober Pedy.
Faye's underground mine. So Faye was the first female miner in Coober Pedy. This is underneath her house. She first dug in this direction and all she found was this talc. So if we look up at the ceiling, it's just like Johnson's baby powder talcum. So that was no good to her, but then she started digging this way, and this is what they're calling the money tunnel. This is where she found lots of opals back in the day. So we've just had the most fascinating tour at Faye Naylor's underground house and mine. So Faye Naylor was the first female in Coober Pedy to operate a mine, and she actually moved here when she was young. She was from North Queensland, and she moved down here and started up a little cafe, which was just like a shack, and it got blown away in bad weather, and then she needed a way to make money, and in that time she'd learnt from miners in the town how to fossick for opals. She built friendships with them, so she had some protection, so she started mining herself and making jewellery, And then she'd just sell them to the buses going up and down the highway because no one was selling jewellery and souvenirs at that stage, and she actually sort of developed the first tourism here.
Yeah, and there were obviously there's no women in the town, or it was a 1-to-14 ratio of women to men, so she had no one to really sell to, so all the tourists, that was her best option. Yeah.
And when her cafe was blown away, she'd been living in her bus. Then at that point she bought, she needed somewhere else to live, so she bought this underground one room from the old postal worker here, and she made it into a beautiful little kitchen. She tiled everything, full cabinetry for her glassware. And then she invited some girlfriends down from Queensland, and they moved into this one room with her. And when they realised it was one room, they decided, well, we want our own room. So she gave them a pick and said, start digging, and then they've expanded it into
3-bedroom house here, multi-level 3-bedroom house underground.
Kitchen, dining room, walk-in wardrobe. Then there's a separate bar, living area, and then we were blown away when we came upstairs. She's built an extension above ground with the first and I think only indoor swimming pool in Coober Pedy.
So yeah, they had to truck in the water from miles away to get the water on a truck, literally, to bring it here and fill up the pool. And she's a very sociable person, and she used to have lots of parties and have all her friends around, and they'd splash, and all her investment of buying this water to go in the pool was getting splashed around. So she threatened them that each time they'd come, they'd have to bring a bottle of water with them to fill the pool back up, and water's so expensive, and that sort of stopped all of the splashing.
And because she'd made all these friendships, that she was so social, she made all these friendships, she had all these friends on hand when she needed protection. If she felt someone snooping around her mine, she would just call up her mates and be like, oh, like, I'm worried about someone coming in to steal my opals. Next day, they were just gone. We don't know how they were gone, but the town is sort of built on criminals, and it was sort of a bit of your own law.
Yeah, sort of the wild west, I guess, of Australia at the time. There's no sort of law when it first started mining opals here. So yeah, I think there's a lot of even today, the mining ploughers or the mining blowers, the trucks, they still get stolen. So that's another interesting story. There is those blowers, the one we took our photo with. They don't actually have an engine. They just get towed from site to site. And so they do have an engine on board, but it's only used as a suction device, not actually propelling the car through town. So they get towed from site to site so that people don't steal them.
Machinery,
but even they still do, and they turn up all around town in various locations.
Yeah, she still our tour guide Carolyn, who was great. She just spoke about how still crime is happening. People are still stealing equipment and stuff all the time and trying to hide it out in different places behind big piles of junk. And just with the blower as well, they showed us how they basically put all these vacuums together and made this massive blower, and they get these huge rocks sucked up this blower. I was saying to Wes, I don't know how you can't get a decent vacuum cleaner for your house when they're like sucking things like that out. Yeah,
huge rocks, and that sucked them up 20 metres from below ground to above ground.
And then I think when Faye was about 50, she sold everything off. She'd made her money. She went back to Queensland, and then I think passed away in 2015. Apparently a very butch lady, but she liked all her frills and flowers, and she seemed like such an interesting character. And there is honestly a billion stories we could tell you, and a lot of things we don't remember, but you just have to come and do the tour for yourself, I think.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Cheese! Look at Daddy with that helmet.
Don't knock your head, Ron. Graceful is the word I'd use.
second full day in Coober Pedy today.
And we've just gone to the Alzheimer's mine, and now we're heading off to Crocodile Harry's farmhouse.
Yeah, a bit of an eccentric guy, and
Yeah.
they've left his house sort of intact.
Yep, well, it's quirky and lots of junk.
Yeah.
That's coming up next. So today's our last full day in Coober Pedy, and we've come to a hotel in town. That's, surprise, surprise, is underground. Jess is going to do some Opal research. We're going to go out to the dog fence, or dingo fence as it's called, and we're also going to go to a church today. A slight change of plan. This afternoon we've come to the breakaways, and this is certainly one of the better views we've had parking up the van and looking out the side door.